As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, the Rays Baseball Foundation and Rowdies Soccer Fund created the Racial Equity Grant Fund to build power within communities that have been historically overlooked and disadvantaged because of systemic racism. They've committed $100,000 annually to this program. Today's show is recognizing all the traditions in their Hispanic heritage for the team. The Tampa Bay Rowdies join us next on Bayside. Good afternoon and welcome to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. Today we are talking all about Hispanic Heritage Month, and more importantly, or maybe not more importantly, but in addition to that, very excitedly, we're also talking to Tampa Bay Rowdies player himself, and not just any player, you are team captain. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here. I know right now, if anyone's channel surfing and a soccer fan or a girl, they're going to be like, whoa, what is happening right here? And going to stop to watch you for sure. So talk to me a little bit about being the player. Let's start broad and what it means to be a Tampa Bay Rowdy.
I mean, it's obviously a privilege to be part of this club. I mean, it's one of the best clubs in the league. We're always fighting for the top spot, so it's a privilege to be able to play for them and just have the opportunity to go out there every weekend and play in front of our fans.
For sure. As a member of the Tampa Bay community, we are just as excited that you are here and you guys are in the area and do so well. So what position do you play and how long have you been with the team?
I'm a defender, and I think this is my 5th season, so I got here in 2020.
Great, and you're no idea of leaving at all, right?
No, I mean, this is home for us. Actually, we have a 5-month at home. She was born here, so this is home for us.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Love that. So now let's talk a little bit about what it means to have Hispanic Heritage Month and how it relates to being a Rowdy and their partnership or their recognition of it, I should say. And what it means with the Racial Equality Grant Fund going towards that initiative. What does that mean to you? I mean, how important is that?
I mean, I think it's super important because, like you say, there's a lot of fans that go to our stadium that are Hispanic, and we get the support from them. So it's always good to include every group out there, not just the Hispanics, but we have different nights for different situations. So I think it's super important for people to come out and support these different groups that come and support us.
For sure, for sure. So you're originally from Mexico, correct? And so then being a little boy that was born in Mexico and started off, did you ever imagine that you would be playing soccer at this level?
I mean, if I'm being honest, if you ask any little boy in Mexico what they want to do when they grow up, it's probably be a professional soccer player.
For sure.
So it was always my dream to be a professional soccer player, and I was lucky and blessed enough to be in this opportunity, and I've been doing it for a long time now. I think this is my 9th season as a professional soccer player, so just very happy to be able to represent the Rowdies and have the opportunity to live my dream.
Do you ever get back to Mexico?
Yeah, I have family back home. One of my brothers lives across the border in Juarez. So when I go back and visit my parents, we go over and visit them as well.
Mm-hmm. So what is that like being that now you've made it? Essentially, you are the walking example of living the dream, right? Certainly because it is Hispanic Heritage Month, you're like the walking dream, right? To some of these little boys. What does that feel like, and how important is that to you when you go back and you see these little boys, and what is the response you're getting from some of them?
Yeah, I mean, just growing up in El Paso, just trying to be that person that I am now, being that professional soccer player. I have my nephews that look up to me now that want to reach that point. Yeah. So I think it's very important just to set the example and just show them what they could do so they could live their dream as well, and the next steps that they need to take in their career as a youth player and then continuing to college and hopefully professional for them. But it's just amazing to have people that look up to you and be a good example for them.
For sure. And certainly as it relates to Hispanic Heritage Month, I would think that that's even more of, it'd be more challenging for someone, say in Mexico, for the littles in Mexico that want to do this, or in any other foreign country, but for the sake of the month, versus the kids that are growing up here, you know. So you've really defined what it means to live the dream. I think that's great. So how is it that you feel that the Rowdies are really helping you like display that Hispanic heritage that you have, certainly this month?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Rowdies are great. They always support us, and I mean, just being the captain of the Rowdies and being Hispanic and being able to lead this amazing organization is just, like I said before, it's just an honor to be part of it. And I think they do a great job. Like you said, they donated a good bit of money to the organization, so I think we're always supporting and trying to do better.
Mm-hmm, for sure. What's the response that you're getting, like word on the street or even from the fans?
Yeah, I think the fans are great. They always thank us for everything we do on the field, and I think we need to thank them for what they do off the field for us, coming supporting us and keep the club going. And because without them, we're nothing on the field.
Oh, well, you give us a good reason to come and show up, that's for sure. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, so in case you're wondering how you can get tickets, where the field is, any other information about as it relates to the Tampa Bay Rowdies, of course, you can always log on to their website. It's rowdiessoccer.com. You're looking at the website right there. That website's going to give you all the information down to what team they're playing, where they are, how they're ranked, all the information on the Rowdies captain that happens to be sitting to my left right now. So all that information is readily available, so go check it out. And most importantly, go check out our game. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. I've been talking all about the Tampa Bay Rowdies and what it means to them to be Hispanic Heritage Month, what that means. So now I've got the president of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Welcome to the show, Ryan Helfrich.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So like I said, what does it mean to the Rowdies? I know you guys do so much. It really, I'd say what a word that would be synonymous with the Rowdies would be inclusivity, 100% across the board. It doesn't matter race, gender, being, it doesn't matter. You guys have like, don't you have a day where it's like bring your pet or dog?
We sure do.
I mean, it really and truly doesn't mean, it doesn't matter, and I love that about it. So talk to me as it relates to Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, the Rowdies were the first pro sports team to represent the Tampa Bay region back in 1975. And we feel responsible with the platform that we have to not only celebrate and highlight staff, but players and then individuals within the Tampa Bay region who have made a positive impact within the Hispanic community. And that's something that we focus on not only during Hispanic Heritage Month, we're able to amplify those efforts during that time, but we like to have different activations and events year round.
Mm-hmm. And without a doubt, you definitely do that. I think even Aaron mentioned that earlier in his segment, talking about the various days where you really highlight or like to welcome or draw attention to, or just for the sake of exposure alone, right? So anything special that you're doing this month or during the Hispanic Heritage Month to like really celebrate that heritage?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's a few different things that we're doing throughout the month, but it's also important to note that we have, like I mentioned, several events and activations throughout the year. So we actually kicked off this year before the season started. We hosted 50 middle schoolers from Webb Middle School in Tampa, in coordination with our community partner, Big Brother Big Sisters, for their Bowl for Kids' Sake. It's their annual fundraiser where we had these 50 kids come out to the bowling alley. They got to bowl with our players, a lot of our Hispanic players, because these kids are Spanish-speaking kids. So that was very exciting for them. We brought the mascot out. We had media out there, and it was a really unique event for them. We've also done donation drives in the past. Most recently, we donated a lot of soccer gear, hundreds of jerseys, balls, equipment to a rec center over in Waimama, really focusing on the Hispanic community on the other side of the bay. Coming up here very soon, we will be hosting a back-to-school clinic where there will be several Hispanic families attending. That takes place at Al Lang Stadium. It's very exciting for the kids. They get to have a clinic underneath the lights. They get to interact with our players. They get to go through drills. And then before they leave that evening, they get a backpack full of school supplies.
Oh, wow.
And the families, the kids, and the players all enjoy a meal together. So we order pizza for everybody through our partners at Colony Grill. It's just a great event. So we're very excited about all those things, but specifically during Hispanic Heritage Month, that again allows us the opportunity to tell the story of all the different players on our team that come from different backgrounds throughout Central America, South America, and to not only tell those stories, but then to get them involved in the community and give back. So we'll have youth soccer clinics going on, not only at the stadium and the training facility, but we'll be going to youth soccer fields around the Tampa Bay region, putting those on. We'll be activating at different events throughout the region, handing out swag, providing ticket giveaways, and really encouraging people to come out for our annual Hispanic Heritage Night on Saturday, September 28th.
Love it. Saturday, September 28th. Be sure and mark your calendars for that. So, Ryan, I have to ask, this all sounds so much fun. Do you find that not only, I mean, I think most people could understand from a fan standpoint that it's just off the charts amazing to be able to interact with, some of the players. Some of these kids are like, it would be a dream to meet someone and then actually be able to do that and then walk away with a backpack. Any of the various events that you do throughout the year in addition to this month. But do you also find that now that you've been doing this long enough, watching the players and maybe even for yourself, where you almost see that it's like it's mutually exciting and beneficial on both sides?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's rewarding to the players. It's rewarding to the staff. It's definitely rewarding to the kids and the families. I think a lot of us, specifically myself, I look back to when I was a kid, and if I had the opportunity to meet a professional athlete, interact with them, practice soccer drills with them, get to know them on more of a personal level, and then also having somebody to look up to, I think is very, very important. And I think when you see the smiles on the kids' faces, that's what makes it worth it to these athletes and to these professional soccer players. They were one-time kids, and just as Aaron has mentioned, when he was a kid, his goal was to be a professional soccer player, and a lot of these kids' goals are the same. So having somebody locally that they can look up to and being able to support their own local professional soccer team is something that's really exciting and special for the kids and the families.
Absolutely. And Tampa has a rich history with a very rich Hispanic background in and of itself in Tampa. So it makes perfect sense that Rowdies, and I mean, honestly, the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Rowdies Soccer Fund got together and really are focusing on this. I think it's a wonderful and very needed and apropos way to look at things, for sure. So that being said, talk to me a little bit about the Rowdies background historically speaking. So in those early days on, I mean, we've always had Hispanic players because let's face it, I mean, like it or not, soccer is the biggest spectator sport in the world. Honestly, I mean, more people are fans of soccer than any other sport there is. So talk to me about how that is here and based on like in our early days through now with the focus on the Hispanic part.
Yeah, so we have very deep roots and connections to the Hispanic community, but I think that all comes to be due to the Hispanic players that we've had on the team since the 70s. So in 79, we had a player by the name of Oscar Fabiani. He was the leading goal scorer for the Rowdies that year. In 82, another gentleman by the name of Hugo Perez from El Salvador. He played for the Rowdies. Since then, he has been the head coach for the El Salvador national team, so he's gone on to do great things with his career. And then as we get closer to the modern era, we've had players like J.P. Rodriguez, who won an NASL championship with us in 2012, and he played for the Guyana national team, which is exciting. Sebastian Guinzati, he's the leading goal scorer in Rowdies history. He's from Uruguay. And then when you really look at our current roster to date, you have Aaron Guillen, who's our captain from Mexico. You have Manu Arteaga, who's from Venezuela. He's one of our top goal scorers right now. You have Josh Perez, which is interesting. He is the nephew of Hugo Perez, who played for the Rowdies in the 80s.
It goes.
It just keeps
family
going.
deep. Oh my goodness, and keeps going and going and going. I'm sure a lot of these facts. As a matter of fact, that little retro photo right there is on the website. You can go and check it out. It's a fabulous story. In case you don't know that story, it's a great read. Go on to rowdiesoccer.com, log on to that website. That's also how you're going to find out when they're playing, where they're playing, the stats. Well, all the nitty-gritty is right there on the site. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back after this. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. I'm talking to the president of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Mr. Ryan Helfrich. So we have been talking all about what it means to be Hispanic Heritage Month for the Rowdies and how important it is, because you've got such a basis in the Hispanic community, and not to mention Tampa Bay is a very Hispanic community in and of itself. So we all have these roots here. And then moving forward, you do celebrate it. It's almost like it's Hispanic Heritage Month every day with the Rowdies, in addition to everything else, because you even put a focus on like all racial equity. Given that, you do have a fund that's together with the Tampa Bay Rays Foundation. You've put together a racial equity grant fund. Talk to me what that is, like go into detail of really what that is and what that $100,000 commitment means.
Yeah, so this, the Racial Equity Grant Fund started back in 2021. It was in response to the murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. And this is why we created this Racial Equity Grant Fund. So what our goals and the purpose of it is to really support anti-racist organizations, support organizations that are making an impact throughout the community, but more specifically, they're really focused on youth development, education, housing equity, health equity, among other things. And then also we're looking to make an impact in areas that are affected by racism. So every year, starting in February, organizations can start applying for this grant. And in early April every year, we pick 4 recipients. So we're excited to be a part of it and give back to the community.
Do you want to give a little shout out to any of these recipients?
Yes, absolutely. So first recipient is SOAR, which is Sing Out and Read. So that's a reading literacy program. The James B. Sanderlin Family Neighborhood Center, which brings families together in a safe space to spend time. The kids can focus on education. The parents can grab a meal. And then also the Helen Gordon Davis Center for Women, which is very important for us as well. And
then real quick, we've got Saturday, September the 28th. Give the deets real quick on that. Where is it? What time? How do we go?
Absolutely. Allang Stadium, 7:30 p.m. We kick off against Hartford Athletic. It's going to be a fun night for everybody who attends. You can get tickets on rowdiesoccer.com. One of our big promotions for that night is the players wear their pregame warm-up tops. They're Hispanic Heritage branded.
Oh, I love it.
And fans can essentially auction those jerseys off or participate in an
That's
auction.
the website you're going to right there, rowdiesoccer.com. Go check it out and get your tickets today. Don't miss out. We'll be back with this. As always, I want to thank you for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, Ryan, thank you so much for being here. We love having you a part of our team here at WTOG. Now, for you at home, I encourage you every night to get out and get involved in your community. What a fun night to go and do that. Log on to rowdiessoccer.com. Get those tickets if you do one game at all or one thing this year. Do this one. Saturday, September the 28th. It's Hispanic Heritage Night for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It's going to be a good time. Why don't you come on out and sport your favorite Rowdies jersey? Until next time, have a great rest of your week. I'm Shelley Sanders.